Okay, former WWE star Ryback, the big guy, does a podcast. It's somewhat controversial in its nature because he says he tells it like it is from his perspective. He recently made mention that John Cena is like a poison because during the time he was there, John Cena did hold a lot of guys down, or it was perceived that he held a lot of guys down. Ironically, most former WWE guys, even ones who are like, "Oh, don't have bad things to say about John Cena." Alex Riley did. Alex Riley perfectly attributed his lack of success to John Cena kind of using his influence. Now, politics in the world of professional wrestling isn't anything new. We know Hulk Hogan did it. We know Nash did it. We know HBK did it to an extent. Everyone claims Triple H does it to an extent. But I think what happens is when you become the top guy, you're given a lot more leeway. When you're the guy who's selling lots of merchandise, you have more clout. WWE it's a business first and it's a wrestling company second. Actually, it's a business first, it's a sports entertainment company, and then towards the end it's a wrestling company. This brings me to the problem with John Cena. John Cena has a tremendous amount of merchandise. He sells a lot of merchandise. If you look at a buddy of mine, he's got 3 boys. Pretty much when they're wearing their e-pajamas, it's John Cena. John Cena is ubiquitous in the world of professional wrestling. He is, when you think WWE, you picture John Cena. Good, bad, or indifferent, when you think WWE, you picture that guy. You picture the super ripped Matt Damon in jorts. That's who you picture. So, is the problem John Cena, or is the problem that when you have your guy who's making the most money, you have your cash cow, will you do things that diminish the amount of money he makes, and that he makes you to have someone else make you money? I think that's kind of the business risk that I can see McMahon probably going, It's like, John Cena makes me bank. You might have the potential to make me some really good money, but I don't want to hurt the amount I make off John to have you make more money. It's a weird thing because if you go back to the Attitude Era, it felt like almost everybody had multiple shirts. But it was a boom period, so it made sense that you're like, you know what? You've got a gimmick, you have a catchphrase, and we make a shirt. You've got to make a shirt. Everybody seemed to have some level of merchandise. But when you have the ability to spend more money to do more merch, it's easier to put out more merchandise. Now it seems that people take a tremendous amount of time before they get their first shirt. James Ellsworth showed up. They were like, we make some money off him, he got a shirt. Alexa Bliss just got a shirt. Dana Brooke has to buy James Ellsworth stuff for her family because she doesn't have a shirt. There are lots of people when they come down to the ring, they might be rocking the We Are NXT shirt because they don't have their own shirt. From Ryback's standpoint, a lot of his complaints end up being that a lot of heels tend to not have merchandise. Jericho mentioned he does not do merchandise when he's a heel. He's a heel. You should be upset that you can't buy his stuff. But normally heels tend to not have as much merchandise as faces. John Cena, tremendous amount of merch. That means he's making money hand over fist. He's making Vince money hand over fist. If there's a guy you think you can make money with, there's a guy you think that having a match with them might hurt you financially, I understand why you might be like, he's not quite there yet. Triple H actually, he didn't think that Edge was going to make money. He didn't think Cena was going to make money. Now, in H's defense, I want to say Cena came in at the same time as Orton, Batista, Lesnar, and I think Shelton Benjamin. There's another really hot prospect at that time too. So he showed up, And if you watch John Cena in the beginning, the ruthless aggression, he's decent. He was about to get fired until they heard him do a freestyle rap, and they went, hey, that works, we'll do that. And ironically, a lot of smart fans dug Dr. Thugonomics John Cena. Once he got to the top, he softened his image and he went Hogan style. You know, bright colors, focus more towards kids, because the parents might go, I don't like him, but it's a great role on my kids. I'll buy you the shirt. Do I think he deliberately sabotaged people? Where John's at now, more of an elder statesman role, I have a hard time thinking that he's doing it now. I do think that's at a point now where he realizes that his position is secure. He can take a loss to Dean Ambrose on SmackDown. It's not going to hurt him. He's hit an icon status. Before he hit that status, there are probably people who are getting solid pushes who might not have been ready. Looking back at when Ryback made his big push, and he was, the Feed Me More chance, and he was ridiculously over. John Cena got hurt, which forced him to put Ryback in a Hell in a Cell against CM Punk, which damaged him horribly. And then the Shield showed up the next month, which, the Shield taking on Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ryback worked. Having there be a TLC match with Ryback versus CM Punk, where we know Ryback can't win because CM Punk's on the path to having this, historical title reign, it hurt it. Do I think there's probably some animosity from Ryback because, John Cena got hurt and it really kind of derailed my career? Yeah, Ryback was not ready for the main event. He was not. He probably would have been there, really close. I mean, he was definitely a guy you could see rolling the IC title or US title. He was definitely a mid-card on his way up to the main event. So I think it's hard to say, is it directly John Cena himself doing it, or is it his position as the main moneymaker, as your primary guy? He's the ace, to use Japanese terminology. He is the guy that you built the company around. Do you risk damaging that to find someone else to make you money? As CM Punk said, Vince is a multimillionaire who should be a billionaire. Yeah. If they knew how to market to everyone's strengths, like they did back in the Attitude Era, there's a lot of money to be made. There's a ton of money to be made. There's a lot of people who want to buy someone's merch. If I have a bag picture that's driving me nuts. Okay, got it. There's a lot of wrestling fans who want to support an individual. They might not like the E as a whole, but they want to support an individual. If you go on Shop Zone, you're going to see a lot of John Cena stuff. Conversely, during the Hide the Divas era, about half of what was being produced for the Divas was Bella's. But you know what? It sold. It sold. They were popular. They're the top of the card. John Cena, his merchandise sells. He's the top of the card. Yeah, I don't picture... I picture being more Vince not wanting to sacrifice his cash cow for somebody else. And I think after a while, as John says, he shows up early and stays late. He knows that he's gonna do 1,000 Make-A-Wishes because the kids want to see him. He is the figurehead. He's the guy out doing the radio. Almost even Miz does a lot of outside events. John Cena does a ton of outside events. If you watch Bring It to the Table, Paul Heyman's like, greatest of all time? Easily. John Cena. So John Cena travels the world, whether it's doing Today Show appearances, he's constantly out there pushing the E as a brand. So, to have him be the guy that you send out to do media events, he needs to be the guy who's the most important. Could someone else take that ball and run with it? Easily. But, do you take the risk? In Vince's mind, probably no. He's got a great thing going. Why try to adjust it too much? He's riding Cena like he rode Hogan. When Hogan left, it was a tremendous downtime. It was arms to the doors. Michaels doesn't sell as much merch as Hogan. Neither was Bret Hart. But it's also a downside too when you push one person above everybody else. You see it on Raw where it's Roman Reigns. Ratings have dropped, house shows have gone down, but Roman Reigns is your focal point. They were smart drafting John Cena to SmackDown and having him show up once a month or so. He effectively is a part-timer. He's a part-time wrestler, full-time E employee because he's traveling, he's talking about the brand. But that's always been Vince, with the exception of the Attitude Era, because he couldn't just push one guy. But even during Hogan's time, he had a supporting cast. I mean, I was not a Hogan fan. If I was watching, well, at the time for WWF, it was Savage, Piper, Warrior. Hogan, not as much. Hogan was the most popular guy. He's the guy who had the cartoons. Now John Cena is pairing with Fred Flintstone. Even though I think we will see Roman Reigns and George Jetson fairly soon. Or it's John Cena and Scooby-Doo. He is the top guy. He is the figurehead. Do I think John has some power? Yeah. Do I think he probably wields it in the way he does in his shoot interviews? Where he's like, you want my spot, you have to take it from me. The pry my spot from my cold, dead hands. And Vince is probably going, I could get a John Cena shirt or a rally towel, it sells. I could get a new shirt for Finn Balor, it sells well. If I do a new Roman Reigns shirt, it sells. If I do a James Ellsworth shirt, like James Ellsworth, his shirt sold so well, they actually got him a contract. Because I saw the ability to make money off of it. Low downside, high upside. John Cena, they protect him. They do. But I'm pretty sure if you look at the balance sheet, John Cena is a big hunk of the merchandise money that comes off of talent. He was then, he is now, and when he decides to hang up the boots and show back really, really infrequently, he'll probably still sell merch. But Vince has kind of had this, I will build the company around one guy. Except the Attitude Era was, I'll build the company around Rock and Austin. They were both pushed as superstars. John Cena is the one above all. Sure, you people like Lesnar, Taker, but John Cena is your most regular guy, and he's kind of pushed above all. Roman Reigns is in that same category. And it hurts the product, because people who don't want to see John Cena are going to boo John Cena shows up because they know that he's filler at this point. Same with Roman Reigns. They know that they're like, he's the next big guy. I don't care. He's not the guy I want to cheer. He's not the guy I can get behind. Could Ryback have made more money? Yes. The injury of John Cena really hurt his career? Yes. Do I think the matches Ryback had with John Cena hurt it? Not as much. Not as much. I think John tried, but by that time the character was damaged. There's really nothing they could do. He was booked as a powerhouse, put in a feud that didn't work because John Cena got injured. And then they tried to rehab him, but John Cena was the one who ended up beating him. And then he became the pre-show stopper. Troll Ryback was good. He does still come off a bit bitter. I understand from Vince's standpoint, the guy that makes you the money is the guy you put your chips behind. You put your chips on. Does it hurt Vince in the long run? Yes. Does it help him short term? Yes. Does he have investors to listen to worry about? Yes. Do I think John deliberately and maliciously did it? That's kind of hard to say. Very few people have had direct, John Cena did this to me. Now, Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Anderson, he can point to, this is the moment when Randy Orton said I was unsafe and got me fired. But you don't hear that much from John. You hear from Alex Riley. Alex was really hot when he broke from The Miz. But let's be honest, Miz is your pure heel. When Alex Riley came back and did stuff with NXT, I was like, you know what? He's good. He's good. But he's not great. I mean, the Alex Riley stuff that he did with Kevin Owens was good. Was fantastic. But that was Kevin Owens being a dirty heel. Alex Riley had a great look. His music was good. They didn't quite figure out what to do with him after like post Miz. Like, he destroyed Miz at an off pay-per-view. But when your storyline is, I'm going to show you Miz, and then he shows the Miz, creatively you've given a guy a singular goal. He's completed said goal, and the crowd's like, you did it. You beat the guy that I wanted to see you beat. So I think it's less that John Cena specifically is a poison. I think it's more that what John Cena is and what he contributes financially is what hurts the E product. And it's also probably what hurts younger guys as well. And John Cena should not have gone over Nexus. Should not have gone over Wade Barrett. Do I think John was like, I should totally crush these guys? I mean, the list of guys that were built up to be fed to John Cena is huge. But I think that's probably a combination of John not wanting to lose his spot and Vince not wanting to give his spot to somebody else. So I think it's a combination of the two. I don't think John probably maliciously tried to stop people. I think that it was a combination of, he makes me so much money, I don't want to damage that.